Hey, this is JB from Within Punk Zine, and I'm sitting here with Chris DeMakes. How's it going, man?
It's going fantastic.
And obviously, you guys have been around for a very long time, and you have many hits that you guys kind of cool off of. So, what's the tour of this like?
Well, this is just one show right now. We got a couple weeks off, and then we're going to go on the Warped Tour in the States. So this is a one-off, and I actually haven't seen the set list tonight, but it's probably a little bit of all of our eras.
Nice.
It's a greatest hit set.
Greatest hit set.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So
We didn't have any hits, but you know.
Yeah, because I did hear that on Warped Tour there was while you guys were doing the losing streak, kind of borderline Hello Rockview.
Yeah, we've been playing those records at select shows around for in their entirety, and they go over really well.
Nice. And let's go back to the direction where it really changed. Obviously, Pezcore was a very raw thing where you guys were just evolving. And then you changed from Pezcore over to Losing Streak, where the sound changed, and the direction really changed on Borders and Boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you view that? Do you think that was the beginning of the direction?
Yeah, I mean, Pezcore they were just recordings, demos. They weren't even, we didn't know what the heck we were doing, and that's what we sounded like. It was really raw. We got our first real producer on Losing Streak, which is funny because although the album is produced in a sense, it's really raw.
Yeah.
And I remember when we put it out, it was, the sound quality was so much better than Pezcore that people were like, oh my God, it sounds so different. But you go back and listen to it, it's pretty raw.
Yeah, I love it.
And then Rockview was another step. We got another producer at that point who he was also like an arranger guy. So he like really taught us how to arrange songs, and he was great, Howard Benson. And then Borders and Boundaries was the follow-up to that, and that was even a little further into like rock territory. It was like we were a rock band with horns, not just ska, or not just punk rock.
And obviously, Hello Rockview had the metal element to it that a lot of people love. So how do you view that? Like, how do you view Hello Rockview?
It's great. People still want to hear those songs. I mean, that's why people come to see us play. Those first, couple of records, we know that, and we don't look a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak. We appreciate it.
Well, a lot of people still love When the Lion Still Roars. Borders and Boundaries. So there's a lot of good tracks on there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying we don't have good songs past that, but people love those, Losing Streak and Rockview in particular.
Yeah, and the favorite album, do you still review it as Anthem?
Probably. And it doesn't really have so much to do with the songs, just the time period. We were just really firing on all cylinders as a band. We were a band for about 9 or 10 years at that point, and we got to work with Rob Cavallo, who was just an amazing producer, and it was just, we recorded out in California, and we'd have the time of our lives. It was great.
Nice. And obviously Borders and Boundaries, I keep coming back to that one because that was obviously the stepping stone in which was Fret Wreck. Mm-hmm. And See the Light is obviously Fat Records. So how do you come back to the independent label as compared to Capitol?
Yeah, well, we've went back and forth over the years. We've had we've been on a lot of labels, and it just so happened that when we finished the last record, Fat had actually put out the previous. We did a compilation of a couple EPs that we had put out. Yeah. And that went well, and we had put out GNVFLA, the previous record, by ourselves, and we wanted to do something that was, had a little muscle behind it, had some promotion, so we went with that because it was familiar, and they're all family and friends.
And GNV obviously had lyrical writing composure that was a little bit different. So do you find that album was a change into the song structures?
I just know that we were coming off Warner Brothers, and we wanted to write a punk rock record, and we did it in the heart of winter in Chicago, and there was definitely a dark vibe to it. Even though it wasn't a dark time in the band, it was we had a great time in Chicago recording that record. But there's definitely, it might have something to do with it was pretty much dark the whole 6 weeks we were there. Dark and cold, freezing. Yeah,
dark, cold, and dingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So See the Light it is your latest release, and a fantastic album.
Thank you.
From start to end.
Yeah, it's my second favorite record of ours.
Yeah, and but there is one element that is kind of a little bit, from each album that you progressively release, some things there's more horns or there's less horns in that kind of direction. Do you feel that kind of on See the Light, or do you feel it has a well-balanced composure to everything?
I mean, that's See the Light's kind of an all-encompassing Less Than Jake record. I think if you take all the parts of previous records and put them together, I mean, there's horns, there's ska songs, there's rock songs, there's punk songs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we kind of put everything that we do well in a blender, and there it was.
Yeah, nice. And obviously you guys have been a huge part of third wave ska, so how do you reference that? And is that kind of like an honor being in a third wave?
Yeah, was there ever a fourth wave? Did it stop with a third wave?
I think it is evolving.
Let's let this gentleman through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to be recognized as we were part of that whole thing, because at the time we didn't feel like we were part of anything. It was just kind of like we were doing our own thing, and it just so happened that a lot of other bands were playing ska punk too, and we looked up to most of those bands, so it's cool.
Nice. And the influences, what kind of influenced you in the beginning with Pescore coming out of that? What was it?
Screeching Weasel, Operation Ivy, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones,
Yeah, all the good bands. And Weasel is definitely he came out with the kind of rock opera that he's got going on. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of interesting that you mentioned that. So beyond See the Light, what's the new direction? Where are you guys going to go with that?
We're writing songs right now. They sound like Less Than Jake.
Yeah.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. So some of the songs are pretty good. So we'll see what happens. We're trying to figure out when we're going to record, because we're on the road till pretty much the end of the year right now.
Nice. One of the questions I did have is that obviously you have a lot of musicians that are classically trained and obviously educated, trained from university levels. Do you feel that was a working element that made Less Than Jake?
Well, actually, our sax player is the only one that went to school for music.
Yeah.
So the rest of us are just self-taught schmucks.
And Buddy?
Yeah, but Buddy. Well, he played trombone in the high school band and that kind of stuff. But we all just kind of pretty much learned on our own. I know our bass player took some lessons as a kid, and I took piano when I was a child. But I don't think that had much influence over me, except the fact that I hated the teacher.
But they say that piano is the foundation of everything else to come.
Oh, absolutely. No, I love the piano. I just, at the time, I was too young, I think.
Yeah, and obviously you guys are pretty big on the merch. You guys cover a lot of awesome things in your merch. I did hear that there was pillowcases being made. Is that correct?
I believe so. I think that's going to come out in the Warped Tour this summer.
Yeah, with you on it.
Naked on a bearskin, yeah. Without a bearskin rug with a rose out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a huge seller, let me tell you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wake and Bake Coffee.
Wake and Bake Coffee. Yep, we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually with you on tour?
I don't think it's here. No.
No. But it's only at the Wake and Bake Festival that you guys.
No, we take it on the road with us and sell it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
In Canada?
Um,
Can't get a passport.
I don't know. That's a good question. We probably, not if it's buried in merchandise.
Dogs?
See, now the Canadian government knows. So.
Yeah.
We might not bring it in. I can't remember, but who knows?
Being the guitarist, main frontman, Gibson, then Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't play Gibson Les Pauls though. Only in the studio.
Only in the studio.
Yes.
So that's.
I have played them live before, but I haven't played them in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that sound with the way that the pickups are orchestrated?
Yeah, I mean Gibson Les Pauls are great. I'm playing G&Ls right now, which are like kind of a knockoff of a Telecaster. So
Nice.
they're great.
And the overall sound and general direction, when you guys first started out on Warped Tour, which was a big breakthrough for you guys. Obviously, you go around on tour this year. You guys are always been part of Warped Tour, and you had Old Blue cruising around, and which you guys did a lot of extensive tours in Old Blue. So, do you miss touring around in the old days and like the old band?
No, because we still do. I mean, there's times when we just did a run up in the Northeast, the United States. We took a van, so it was like 10 shows. It was just more economical than getting a bus, so we did a van and hotels. So we still get a taste of it now and again.
Nice.
But it's not as easy getting out of a van after an 8-hour ride as it was when I was 22. But it's okay.
Yeah, that's one of the other questions I was going to come around to is parenthood. How do you view that?
Parenthood?
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I don't have any children, but maybe someday.
Yeah. with Vinny and his project with Paper and Plastic, which is the current label, is there any plans of Less Than Jake actually going on to Paper and Plastic?
And I don't think so. No. We got our own label, Sleep It Off, and we've been putting records out with companies like Fat. So there hasn't been any talk of it.
Yeah, and Sleep It Off has obviously, you guys released a couple of EPs on that, obviously, in which it did fall into Greetings and Salutations. So any plan on maybe EP before the next release?
We're talking about that. Like I said, we're on the road till the end of the year, so we're trying to figure out when we're going to fit in recording and how we're going to release it, and maybe an EP.
Yeah, nice. So any hints on Pouzza on the set list?
Like I said, it's going to be, I think, just a little bit of everything. I haven't actually seen the set list, so
nice.
Our sound person prints them out, and I just get on stage and look at it. So.
The day of.
Well, yeah, it's going to be similar to a set we did in England like 2 weeks ago. That's the last show we had.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. And we always end with a famous book or famous quote that inspired your life. Anything come to mind?
Famous quote or famous book that inspired my life. No.
You declined to answer.
Yeah. I'm probably the first guy that declined to answer
No,
that. It wasn't.
no, you're not.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
You're not.
you put me on the spot, and either I have something immediately, or it's just poof.
And that's it, JB and Chris, and this is it.